Welcome back to New Tech Tutorials. In this round of tutorials, I'm going to show you how we can take a simple cube and turn it into a cool looking low poly car. In the second tutorial, we're going to take that vehicle that we created and we're going to bring it to life, meaning we're going to make this car be able to drive around our scene and interact with our environment. So stick with me as I take you through these two videos and hopefully you come out of it learning something new. I am just in a empty new project here. I'm going to grab a cube, and my display right now is constant shading and lines. Just find that to be easier so that as I add segments in here, I can see them without having to make it editable. I think if you're in regular shading, you can't see it. So anyway, let's just start off with a regular cube, 5 segments on the X. And I'm going to go ahead and just jump in here and make this editable. And come into my polygon mode. And I'm going to, from this orientation, this is the top of my car. So I'm going to select the top of my car and I'm just going to drag this down. So this is actually the hood of my car as the way I'm starting here. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab these polygons and I'm going to say that this is going to be the front windshield, back, and then we'll go the back of the car, something like that. So let's just grab this right here and extrude up. So that's going to be my front and back seat basically, and this is my front windshield and my back windshield. So let's come in here with the edges selected. I can double click on a row of lines and I can bring these back, so something like that. And I'm gonna do the same thing here, just kind of bring that forward. Yeah, okay, so that's the basic body as it is right now that I'm going to work with. Now I'm going to go back into polygon mode. Let's grab this front windshield and let's go to our extrude inner. And I'll go to like -3. And I need to make sure I preserve groups set. And let's just go ahead and put new transform. Oops. Let's go to 3. There we go. And then we're going to so now we've got the shape, and now we want to go to an extrude, and we'll have it a minus depth of, let's just use -3, and that'll make it crop in just a little bit. So we've got our nice glass indent. Let's do the same thing in the back. Let's grab these. Should still have the same values. Oops, first need to do my extrude inner, apply, and then we'll do our extrude apply. Okay, cool. And then now for the sides, I'm gonna grab this. These are gonna be my side windows. We're gonna first extrude the inner. We are not gonna preserve groups. So that way we've got our 2 window pieces here, and then we can do our extrude, and then we're going to keep the same values when we go to the other side. So extrude inner, apply, and then extrude, apply. All right, cool. So we've got our low poly vehicle set up going here. I am going to go back to my edges, and I can no longer grab things. So what I probably wanted to do first, and I'm just backing up a little bit, is grab these lines on the side, and I'm just gonna scale these in a little bit. There we go. That looks a little bit better. And then drag out my windshield. Okay. So I'm just gonna repeat the same process. Sorry for that. But I will speed this up so you don't have to watch it. Okay, cool. So we're back to where we were, where we left off. Got our windshields figured out here. I'm gonna now kind of play around with the front of this vehicle. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just kind of grab these three. I'm just gonna pull them forward a little bit, and then I might actually grab these points here, here, and here. Just gonna kind of grab that and pull that back a little bit, and then let's grab the whole front of the windshield. I'm just gonna kind of angle it down a little bit. So something like that. Polygon mode. Let's go ahead and grab these two bad boys. Let's do an extrude inner, and I'm gonna actually do like, let's do like 8 centimeters, and then let's go ahead and grab these and let's extrude them in, and we'll do like -6. Let's try that. Cool. All right. And then let's swing around to the back here. Let's do the same thing. Let's grab our top edges. Let's kind of just bring this down a little bit. Let's maybe grab the sides and kind of scale it in just a little bit. And then let's grab our polygon tool again. Extrude inner. And extrude. So that's our tail lights, and then here's our front headlights, which I can add those later, but that's going to be just the area where I'm going to put some circular headlights. Okay, cool. Next up, let's add some wheels. So for the wheels, let's grab a tube and let's make sure that we're on the right axis there. Let's scale this down. We don't need this many rotation segments, so let's go to like 10. Let's make the inner radius a bit larger, something like that, and then we're gonna add some just the fillet cap. We don't need quite as many. We can make the radius larger, but we can turn the segments down to something like that. Maybe let's make the inner radius a little smaller. So that's gonna be our tire. So let's go ahead and then duplicate this and scale it up, something like that. And then we're gonna slice this to kind of create the hub. And so this can be at 90, and this can be at -90 or 270, I think. There we go. So we've got this 180 degree kind of hubcap, and we can mess with the size of it a little bit. I think that works for now. And then we're gonna grab a cylinder here, and we're gonna make this kind of be like our center of the wheel. Let's drag this way down. Again, we have way too many rotation segments. Going for the low poly. And then let's grab a cube. We're going to scale down quite a bit. And we're going to hold Alt and go to MoGraph Cloner. This cloner is going to be a radial, which we want to make sure that we're on the right plane again. And let's bring this radius like way in to something like that. Let's play with the size a little bit of this cube. Okay, so I think it is the Z value that we're going to need to make very small, something like that. And then the Y value we're going to up, and that's going to give us our spoke. The other thing I got to do with my cylinder is I got to give it a little cap here. Something like that, and I can reduce the number of caps just to make it kind of look wheel-like. And let's go back to our cloner, and we can up the count here. So yeah, so that gives us kind of a nice wheel. Let's just go Alt G and let's grab this and just kind of drop it into place. I'll go something like that. We can size this up a little bit. Don't really know what kind of car I'm going for. I'm just kind of going for any old vehicle here. Let's duplicate that to the back. Okay. So already that kind of adds a nice look to it. We can kind of preview what we're looking like so far. So that's a start. We obviously want to start getting into more detail here of our vehicle. So first things first, let's just grab a cube and let's start making a front bumper. So I'll just drag this into place here. Could go as simple as just dropping something down like that, but I think we want to probably go to the edge there, and then when we start getting our line bend, we'll start to make adjustments. Not too concerned with this bumper. I will be using symmetry for some other things. But, alright, that gives us a little front bumper. And we can reuse this and just kind of rotate it to the back. Alright, that works. Sorry for that. That wasn't pretty by any means, but it's good enough. Alright, let's get some small details going. Let's just get a little door handle here. So we're gonna just kind of drop into place. One there, and one there. And then I'm just going to reuse one of these cubes really quickly, rotate it 90. And I'm going to use this as my windshield, or my rear view mirror, I should say. So, let's scale this up a little bit. All right, where would we put this? Something like that. Let's make it editable. Let's grab one of these and extrude the inner. That's way too big. Cool. And then let's kind of extend this into the car. And I might just kind of scale it down as it enters the vehicle. Okay. So far, so good. You know, we should be kind of filleting them if we want to make them look more curvy. I haven't been doing that for all of them because, frankly, we are going for low poly. But you know, just to show you the way that you would do it is you'd come into your fillet here and you adjust the subdivisions, put those fairly low, but then play with the radius. This one I already made editable, so what I could do for this is just put it in a subdivision if I wanted something kind of curvy like that. I don't necessarily need it, so for that I'm just gonna leave it super low poly. Okay, cool. So let's get some headlights. I'm gonna drag. If you notice, I'm only doing one side of the car for a lot of these elements because I am gonna use symmetry to finish it. So I'm kind of dabbling in going between techniques here. Leave it something like this for a headlight. We could also mess with this grill here. Like let's try this out. Let's do an extrude inner by preserving the groups, and then let's do an extrude just do like -2, nothing major. And that should have just kind of pulled it in a little bit. Maybe we'll go like more like -4. Okay, so now what we can do is we can make a little front grille here. Let's grab a cube. Just using a lot of little primitive objects. A lot of cubes to do this. Let's scale this down. And then let's do the same thing. We're going to hold down Alt and go to Cloner. And we're going to do this in a linear. And then let's make sure that we're using the right. Yeah, because right now it's stacked on top of one another. Let's change this to something like that. And let's play with the cube sizes again. So the Y, we want to be the size of that area. All right, there we go. Got it. Let's do a little bit of a overall vehicle refinement. Let's grab the hood. Oops, I need to make sure visible only. Just kind of drag that up a little bit. And make sure that I'm also grabbing all this stuff too. Giving it a little bit of a pitch on that. Actually, probably the easier way to do it is just to grab edges. And I can use global coordinates to just kind of pull one edge down. But I'm going to grab both of these, pull it down just a little bit. So it gives me a little bit of a rounded hood. Do the same in the back. And I'll do the same in the back as well with my headlight. Just bring this back here. Stick that right in my, we could do like kind of like an old Euro style car here. Like just like the old tail light. We have a big one and then like a smaller one below it. Something like that. Okay. So I think that looks like a pretty decent little, kind of like a classic looking car. I'm just making a lot of adjustments here. So basically now what I want to do, everything that I'm going to duplicate over using the symmetry, I'm going to kind of just arrange. I'm going to bring these up to the top. So I want all my door handles. So let's just name all these. This is front handle. This is back handle. This is my mirror. And then we've got front light. And then, well, of course, I've got my wheels here, so I need these up here. Everything else, I think I don't need to duplicate. So to remember, if you're using symmetry, if I just grabbed all these and held down Alt, and if I put them inside of a symmetry, only the top one's gonna work. So what we need to do is hit Alt-G, and then I can put these inside of a symmetry. And now I've got it duplicated across my vehicle. So that's pretty cool. Any last adjustments you want to do now will affect both sides of the vehicle. So if I drag in my wheels, if I want to do the same for my front ones, and yeah, we're rolling. We got a vehicle here. So I'll grab just like a really nice green, let's go like red, and let's kind of add a bit of reflectance, just kind of give it that car paint, and let's just throw that on there. And let me select front. Let's just do a test here. Okay, I like that. Let's just grab all the locations for glass. Holding down shift, selecting those, drag and drop. All right, very nice. And obviously I'm just doing a render preview. This is not what the final version will look like whatsoever. Let's create just kind of like a black reflective material, or like a gray, darker gray, and let's just make this, yeah, more reflective even than the car paint. And I'm going to drag this onto my bumper and my wheel well there, and then the rear bumper. And then maybe I'll use it for the grill as well. So I drag it onto my cloner. There we go. It's pretty reflective, but that works. And then we need like a car tire, kind of like a rubber. Let's just keep it as a simple black kind of rubber. Rubber is slightly reflective. And then we've got inside here, these bad boys are definitely going to be reflective and reflective. There we go. Same with the cylinder. Yeah. Put it on the floor so we can see what reflections would look like. All right. It's pretty good. Last thing we can do is, we've got Fong tags on everything. We can get rid of these and make it even more low poly feeling. So now you'll notice those edges got a lot sharper there. So anyway, I'm gonna clean this up. This is going over way too long, but this was just a good example of how to structure your 3D modeling for, in this case, low polys. Oops, I've got a little mistake there. But it gives you, we're not doing like prototyping for high-end vehicles here. We're just kind of having fun, trying to make it cartoony. I've got some silly angles that you would never see in a vehicle. So by all means, play around with this. I'm going to clean this up, finish up some of these things, and then in the next tutorial, we'll talk about how do we drive our low poly vehicle. Thanks for watching.